on. All right, this next item is almost 50% off. So here's your chance to get the lowest price on one of the most impressive kits that I think Anna's ever done. It is a big kit full of goodies. You're getting 21 impression dies, which we'll talk about in just a second. So 21 of the impression dies. We'll show you these. This is, guys, this is such a good offer tonight, okay? So 21 of the impression dies are included. You're getting 8 of her pigment pads, all done in her iconic colors that she uses continuously over the years throughout her kits. You're also going to get one of the idea sheets and a coupon code to go with it for classes. You're getting the drawer, so you're going to have it all nice and organized. All of that in what's called an impression die, which quite frankly, these dies are so complicated and so unique, Anna, because they actually do multiple things in one step.
Right, it's brand new technology, Suzanne, which means that the die, right, we know dies that die cut, we know dies that emboss or deboss, but these have a special coating that we call impression dies, and it'll take your rubber stamping ink, your water-based ink, and it will act like a letterpress. It will press the ink into the paper while die cutting and debossing. And so it's also a finishing school craft box. It has video content included inside with that drawer. And so what we're talking about with those 21 different dies, we have entire sections of card making for him. There's a football, there's an airplane, there's a trophy. Then we get into the everyday with the garden of the backgrounds and roses and trellis and beautiful ways of working with embellishing your cards. Now this is a board that's going to show you, I just love looking at this. This is what it does when it blind embosses, and you see how that incredible detail, right? This is like all of that is an antique engraving made into an impression die. If you ink the face of the die and press the ink into the paper, then you get this letterpress effect. And so you're able to do that both ways, right? So deboss, blind emboss, or ink the impression die. And let me just show you what happens when you're working with these. You end up with this beautiful, like, can't mess it up stamping, right? It's a way of getting, you know, for those of you that don't love to stamp because it's just not, it's harder than it needs to be, this is going to get it right every single time. You're using a water-based ink, and you're able to create these embellishments, whether they're blind embossed or they're debossed like letterpress. And so this is how that works. I'm going to take my my impression die, and you're getting the 8 different colors of the ink pads, and this is the Aegean blue. You don't have to give it a whole lot of ink, which I think is really interesting about this. It just needs to be water-based. And so I'm going to take one of those matte foil papers that we were just showing, and we're going to deboss the same die. I have 2 of them, and so this is going to go face down on the paper. Now, this works just like every other die in your craft room, where you're going to cut and emboss the same way. And one of the things that's really unique, Suzanne, that you pointed out when this was on last May, was that these are the things that it would take to get this to happen, all right? So in your craft room, you would have to have a rubber stamp and a stamping block. You'd have to have ink. You'd have to find the die to match the stamp. You would have to have all these things. Let me just show you this right quick. All right, so now we have our beautiful blue embellishment, and then we have our gorgeous blind embossed embellishment done the same way. So you've got 21 ways of making this exact experience for whatever card you're working on for whatever occasion.
Yeah, and I hope you guys really can get your head around it, because literally it's a stamp, it's embossing, and it's die cutting. It's cutting out all these images. Just this alone, without the ink pads and all the other goodies, is worth the price of admission. It is fantastic to get these. You will fall in love with this technique. Just like, oh my gosh, she's just cut out so many steps all in one in these very, very unique dies. So grab this while it's on sale. It has never been a lower price. We've got 5 flex pays as well. All right, don't forget you can have our credit card. If you don't have it, you get it right now. Whatever you charge on it for that first time, you're gonna save $40. That's a huge amount. If you'd like to check out the details, go to hsn.com. also, beyond being National Craft Month, throughout the month we're celebrating women-owned businesses, and Anna's is obviously a very, very